Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honour to join you here today to talk about how ecological economics and earth-centred law can ensure that humanity and the rest of the living world thrive. I believe, as an economist, that this starts with rewriting the fundamental ideas of economics that we have inherited from the 20th century mindset because they no longer serve us. At the heart of 20th century economics are three very powerful ideas. The first image that is taught is of the market, supply and demand, putting price at the centre of our vision and leaving anything that falls outside of the price contract being called an externality, and that includes the breakdown of the living world. This framing does not serve us in these times of crisis. We must move beyond. The portrait of humanity placed at the heart of 20th century economics was of rational economic man. I've depicted him here as a man with no dependents, standing alone, with money in his hand, ego in his heart, a calculator in his head, and nature at his feet. The more that we tell ourselves that he is like us, we actually become like him, separated from each other and from the rest of the living world. And if we are to thrive as 10 billion people together on this planet, we need a new portrait of who we can be. The third most powerful concept of 20th century economics is the goal. And it is a goal of never-ending growth. No matter how rich a nation already is, its economists will tell us that the success to its problems lies in yet more growth. And yet, in the highest income of nations, this has come with extreme ecological degradation and destruction. We need a new sense of a goal. So let's leave behind these 20th century ideas, and I want to suggest some 21st century ideas founded in ecological economics and other forms of new economic thinking that I believe will serve us on the journey ahead. Let's start with a goal. And here I offer you a compass. I call it the Doughnut of social and planetary boundaries. The goal is to leave no one falling short in the hole in the middle. That's where people don't have the resources they need for a life of dignity, opportunity, and community. And these 12 social foundations, from health and education to housing and income equality, these are drawn from the Sustainable Development Goals. So all governments in the world have agreed that every person has a claim to meeting these essentials of life. Leave no one in the hole. But at the same time, as we seek to meet the needs of all people, we must not overshoot that ecological ceiling. This is the ceiling of the 9 planetary boundaries recognized by Earth system scientists over a decade ago. The life-supporting systems of our planetary home that make life work for humanity and for all living beings on this planet. So the goal here is to thrive between the social foundation and the ecological ceiling. And the shape of progress has suddenly changed. It's no longer ever-rising growth. It's thriving in dynamic balance, like a heartbeat, from human health to planetary health. Many indigenous cultures have long recognized this dynamic, holistic shape of well-being, health, and prosperity. This economic mindset must now learn from that wisdom. What about the first diagram of the economy? Let's make it a whole picture of the economy, recognizing that the economy is embedded in society. It is a social construct that we can reconstruct, embedded in the living world, humanity within the rest of nature. And this means our economy must be compatible with conditions conducive to life. We draw on Earth's materials. We put out waste and pollution. We are bathed in a river of solar energy. How can we create an economy whose dynamics work with and within the cycles of the living world so that it becomes regenerative and distributive by design? And how do we ensure that we take advantage of not just the market and the state, but also the household, the caring work of the household and the collaborative work in the commons? How can we ensure 21st century economies make the most of all these different forms of provisioning and many others that societies use? Let us recognize that we are not individual, separated, rational economic man. We are social, adaptable humans, members of the web of life, and we must make sure that the ways we live are compatible with the health of all. So these ideas bring us a long, long way from where we began with the 20th century concepts that I believe are holding us back and are undermining our opportunity for thriving. We need 21st century economic ideas grounded in ecological economics and other ways of thinking, but also brought into being through earth-centered law. And this, I believe, is the critical project. How do we bring legal frameworks to respect and protect and fulfill and enable this vision of thriving? Thank you very much.